Today, I'm going to show you a quick and easy holiday project that is rich in history and scent. We will be making a pomander. Pomander's origins date back to medieval times and were used to help cover up bad smells. They ranged in size and composition. We see them in paintings as elaborate spheres stuffed with spices. They were the early form of aromatherapy. Now, while pomander derives from the French pomme d'ambre, which means apple of amber, pomanders are not traditionally apples. They are more commonly oranges. But I'm using what I had in my kitchen. And I had a couple of apples lying around that needed to have something done with them because they were not really ready to eat anymore. So let's go ahead and get started. So the materials that we'll be needing are some scissors, some twine, some ribbon, an apple or an orange if you would prefer, and some cloves. I ordered some cheap cloves from Amazon. You definitely don't want the best quality cloves that you would use in cooking. So I'm going to set that aside, and I dumped a bunch of cloves out on the counter and I just started picking them up and poking them into the apple. Now again, it is normally an orange, but apples work as well. In fact, I think one of the very first pomanders that I ever did when I was growing up was an apple. You can make patterns like some of the pictures that were at the beginning of the video. You can cover the whole thing up, but again, if you're using cloves, that does tend to get a little bit expensive because cloves are a wonderful, rich smelling spice that can be a little bit pricey. That's why I looked for something that was fairly cheap on Amazon. And I only use this for my craft projects, for potpourri, stuff like that, so it's not for human consumption. Do be careful because they are very spiky on both ends, which is how you can poke them through. Apple flesh is fairly easy to poke through, but orange flesh, the orange rind, is a lot thicker and they still do poke through. So that'll give you an indication as to how sharp cloves are. So now I'm done and I made like a little pattern with my cloves. I'm going to get my baker's twine that I got from Dollar Tree. It's about a 2-foot section, and I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to take that half and place it up at the top where the stem is. I'm going to wrap the twine around the bottom. You can flip over the apple so that it's easier to manipulate. And this is kind of like how you do ribbon on a present, where you start it at the top, wrap it around the bottom, bring it back up to the top, and you just tie one knot and another knot to secure it. And then you bring the two ends together and you tie a quick little knot. You can double knot it if you like, but one should do, especially if you want to put a little dot of glue. Then you take your piece of ribbon and string it underneath both sections of the twine so everything gets held together. and then tie it in a quick little bow. You grab the two loops, loop it around, and it's done. So, important note, store this in a dry place, not a damp place, or it will get moldy. You can also roll it in some ginger and cinnamon and hang it up, and it stays sweet smelling for all of Yuletide.